Sports Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Mahomes takes, has a pocket, gets away to the right a little bit. He fires downfield. It is picked off at the 20-yard line, intercepted by the Bills. Picked off by Taron Johnson. He goes down right there, and the Bills have the football.
Anytime you're going against a quarterback like that who, you can make an argue he's got the best start to any quarterback to ever play this game in the history of the league. He's a special player, so anytime he's got the ball in the hands, you never know what can happen. But, again, credit to our defense for stepping up and making plays.
Our kids are kind of learning what it feels like to be the favorite going into a game. And I told our kids that's what you did as a football team. What you put on film is you raised Ulysses' level of play. And we got everything we could handle, and they did some things that exposed us a little bit here and there. But when we needed it, our kids went and closed out the game, and that was awesome to see.
On Tuesday, we could have practiced better. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we had pretty good practice. And we felt pretty good during the week, and we thought we were going to come in here and just kind of give it to them. And we did.
2nd down and 3. Quick snap. Gabriel looks sideline. Pump fake. Looks back middle. Throws end zone. Wide open. Too easy. That's too easy. Touchdown.
Today was obviously an important day going into our bye week. Getting a victory against a good, disciplined Kansas team that's been playing very well. They've shown tremendous improvement.
Snap comes back. Turn. Handed off. Kinsry. Touchdown. TCU wins. At the Horn at Fort Worth. Frogs remain undefeated. Running it right at Mike Gundy and the Cowboys. Of this at-bat is hit hard left center field. Quan giving chase, but no shot at it. It's well up into the seats. Yet another home run in the series for Harrison Bader as the Yankees now lead 3-0.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Coming to you from the Mayo Money Management Studio. Steve Webster, I'm excited. Mike Corson, he's excited.
I'm never excited.
Woo! You were really concentrating on those sounds the past 24 hours, or the sounds of the weekend, yeah.
Steve was gone when we played that clip where the guy kept going, woo! But I think that fits today.
Woo! Woo!
Great weekend for sports.
Great weekend. Yeah, if you're a Bills fan, if you're an Oklahoma Sooners fan.
If you like watching Oklahoma State blow leads.
Yes, that was interesting. That sets up a big game this weekend in the Big 12. We'll be talking about this week a lot. K-State and TCU. Okay, on the show today, Jim Misunas. We're changing our batting order up today. So leading off will be Jim Misunas from the Great Bend Tribune. That'll be followed by Shelly Duval, Great Bend Lady Panther volleyball coach, and then Patrick Burnett, the voice of the Panthers, who's got to kind of get him while he's on the road, his first day of school today.
Shelly's a great bunter. She'll get Jim over if he gets home.
And then we're leaving on Patrick to bring him home?
Yeah, power Patrick.
Okay, all right, because also, you're running the board today. I'm not getting in your way. It's time. Spread your wings, butterfly. This is a big day.
Today's not today.
The console is yours today.
I can hit the little triangle.
Okay. Very good. So a good show for you. Let's get to our sounds the past 24 hours or so. The call on the Bills radio network. Taron Johnson picking out Patrick Mahomes last night. That was the end of the road for the Chiefs. They lose to the Bills 24-20 at Arrowhead. Fantastic football game. Josh Allen, 329 yards, 3 touchdowns, including a high hurdle move. That was pretty impressive. And he talked about his mindset before starting the final drive that resulted in that touchdown and a 4-point lead. Patrick Mahomes, 338 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, including the one in the final minute. And the Chiefs tried to rally for the win. They don't get it done. So the Bills head into their bye week 5-1. Chiefs head to San Francisco on Sunday with a record of 4-2. Chiefs lose I wasn't even worried. I mean, perfect. They scored with a minute left. We only need 13 seconds last year. But I'm going to say this. Buffalo is better than the Chiefs right now. Doesn't mean that they're going to be better at the end of the season. But that was such a huge game because I don't want to see the Chiefs have to go to Buffalo in the middle of a Russian winter to try to play there. And also, Tony Romo remains the best analyst there is in television. I love the games that he does. He gives you insight more than Troy Aikman when he says, well, if they don't get a first down here, they're going to have to punt. Okay, that's one of my favorite ones that he has. But, yeah, the Bills are just a better team. I was encouraged by the fact that Chiefs were able to hang with them. Their defense came up some big plays, especially on short yardage situations. But, man, the Bills' offense, I mean, their defense is the thing that is the difference right now. So that's where they're at. Chiefs need to bounce back, win at San Francisco on Sunday. But, man, they may have lost their chance at hosting their 5th straight AFC Championship game.
Everybody has a down week, and Kansas City had theirs, so maybe Buffalo will have one or two down the stretch, and that'll turn. But everybody overlooks that last touchdown pass Allen threw. It was a tough pitch and catch.
Oh, he was, yeah. I mean, Mahomes threw some good ones. That's a bad interception the last time, or on the last series in the first drive. It's like the Mahomes magic. I like to call it, well, he comes back and he went. I think the Mahomes magic is about some of the balls he throws up that aren't intercepted. You know, it seems like guys are always dropping and got a chance. The first one was bad, but no, it was a good fight. I thought the Chiefs played about as well as you can. Don't you think? I mean, I don't think they had a horrible game by any means.
No, I do think it was the best two teams in the league. You throw them together 10 times, it's probably 6-4, 5-5. The wild card's going to be that super cold game in the playoffs, so nobody wants to go up there.
But, maybe this is the year you really root for global warming. Maybe it'll be like 73 degrees in January in Buffalo.
Or maybe it snows too much and they have to move it.
Yeah, they could.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, I don't know. They've had some stuff up there before. Mike Hesher, your thoughts?
It's a long season. And I still say that game, other than the home field advantage, it really meant nothing. So it gave each team a place on where they're at. They can see where they're at and what they need to improve as they move forward.
Okay. Philadelphia beats Dallas last night, 26-17. The Eagles fly high.
They're 6-0.
Yeah.
I think it's first time since like 1980s or something. But looked like it was going to be a runaway for a while, and Dallas made a game of it with their backup quarterback, who had been 5-0 coming in as a starter. That's what happens when significant other tags along.
Tonight in Monday Night Football, Denver taking on the Chargers. Predictions?
Boring.
Chargers.
I'm surprised they didn't move you. And convert you into a Broncos fan when you're out in Colorado for something.
They made me more anti-Bronco fans living out there. Okay.
All right, other sounds. Aaron Beck talking about their 27-22 win over Ulysses on Friday night. An 86-yard, 19-play drive to retake the lead in that game. And Aaron Beck saying that Ulysses gave the Panthers their best shot. And Panthers win, clinch a home field in the 5A playoffs.
Leading into that drive, they had to make a big stop, which several times it looks like they had the Tigers stopped, and then they'd bust off a 58-yard touchdown. Really big quarterback, tough kids, so it was a little dicey there needing that stop. And then once Great Bend got the ball, it was kind of like Dodge City a few weeks back, where we're content to get 3-4 yards of carry. We're going to eat the clock. But before that, we had Braylon Council in last week, and I think the game plan was to go to him over the air.
And he said, Aaron Beck said, don't really answer that.
So the kid had 3 touchdowns, like
12 catches, 160, 160
in the first half. So they did throw to him some more in the second half, and like Coach Beck said after the game Friday, it could have busted it open a little more. So they missed on some, but the play was there most of the night.
That first touchdown catch was amazing. I happened to go to the game.
Is that the one in the back of the end zone?
The back of the end zone. That was a great catch, yeah.
Is there video of that?
Catch It, Kansas. Mike Corson, maybe?
Oh,
okay.
I'm Johnny on the spot.
Yes, you were. That was good video.
So you were doing video then?
Yes. He had it perfect.
We need to get his autograph up here just to have people can big time. Big time Mike Corson is in here. That's awesome. So you're going to Ellsworth Friday night.
Gypsum, Kansas.
Oh, that's southeast. Okay.
Never been there, so I'm actually really excited. On paper, it's one of the best games in the state. SES obviously kind of picked to win 2A, so Ellsworth is...
This will be Ellsworth, but this is...
Big test for Ellsworth, yes.
Hey, I saw Beloit Friday night. They looked pretty impressive to me, and Ellsworth beat them, so...
And some implications for Hoisington in there. It looks kind of like the way things are lining up. Hoisington's going to play either Kingman or Southeast in about round 2 or 3 of the playoffs. So this will kind of be the determining factor who they get.
Okay, Hoiston Cardinal offensive tackle Jace Reese said, yeah, we're looking at him, and we want to come here and, what do you say, get him?
Take it to him.
Take it to them. Take it to them. They did. 52-6 Hoisington wins, and it was a 7-6 game. Those special teams, they can change mode just like that. 90-yard touchdown or kickoff return in that game by Talon Morales. Man, he's a fast kid. And that changed it around. 31-6 at halftime. And now Larned gets Lakin in the next round. Hoisington with they get Cimarron on Friday night, I believe, and that's going to be the...
And Lakin got beat again this past Friday, I believe. Wouldn't that make them too... Oh, this is one of my...
No. I think you're right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they did get beat.
Yeah.
Was it by Colby?
Yes, it was by Colby. Very good.
All right. So other scores on Friday, and you can comment on anything that stands out for you. Garden City 28, Dodge City 14. That game was on Saturday. The Panthers get Garden City Friday night. Pratt over Nickerson 55-14. Southeast of Saline 94, Lions 0. Ellsworth beat Halstead 37-19. Medicine Lodge over Ellenwood 27-6. Russell just got by Phillipsburg by the score of 7-0. Norton beating TMP 20-14. Buckland 54, Central Plains 22, Wilson 46, Otis Bison 0, Maxville blank Skyline 50-zip. Kinsley over St. John 50-zip. Trigo 84, Lacrosse 46. Ness City beat Kiowa County 62-14. Stafford over South Barber. Scoring fest, and Stafford had to rally to win that game, 68-54, so Stafford remains unbeaten. Victoria beating Sylvan, and they take the district title 44-14. Mineola 44, Hodgman County 30. Little River staying unbeaten 54-0 over Pretty Prairie. Pawnee Heights over Southern Cloud 1-0. Forfeit. Weskin beat Chase 52.
They get half a safety.
To 6.
There were 3 forfeits that I saw on the scoreboard for Saturday morning. So don't ask me what the other ones were, but there were 3 of them, which I thought was surprising.
That's the end of the year.
Teams are done.
Teams are done.
Injuries, yes, that's okay.
Look at those district standings right now for Great Bend. You have in the 5A West, Mays 7-0, Hayes 6-1, Valley Center 6-1. Then you have Great Bend, Goddard, Hutchinson, Carroll, and Salina Central all at 5-2. So where the Panthers fall in that, but they do know they will play at home in the first round.
Yeah, I think that point differential is going to come into play. Obviously, it's the tiebreaker, but with those 2 heavy losses maybe at the start of the year and some close wins, Great Bend won't benefit as much as we'd like there.
Okay, some big games coming up. Andale at Pratt. Think Pratt's going to slow them down?
I put in for that one, so I was either going to Gypsum or Pratt, and just because it's a 4A bigger, Pratt's usually pretty physical. I don't think they'll match Andale, but if anybody's going to do it, I would pick Pratt over some of the other teams.
Well, I would say Andale's closest game this year was Cheney, 32-0, and Kingman beat Cheney. That's still my 2A team to watch. Ellsworth 7-0, southeast of Saline 7-0, and let's see here, and of course the Panthers and Garden City.
Get some volleyball.
College football Saturday. Dylan Gabriel looking all healed up. That was bad news for Kansas. Toby Rowland the call on Learfield Sports. Theo Weiss scores on a 24-yard touchdown. That gave OU a 28-14 lead. Sooners beat KU 52-42. Brent Venables relieved. Their 3-game losing streak is over. And in Fort Worth, TCU winning the battle of the Big 12's final 2 unbeaten teams. Brian Estridge a call on Learfield. Kendre Miller scoring from 2 yards out in double overtime. They win that game 43-40. So now you get Kansas State TCU coming up Saturday. And finally, Dan Schulman with the call on KVGB. Harrison Bader hitting a home run to left center, scoring Josh Donaldson the top of the second inning. Yankees beat the Guardians 4-2. So deciding Game 5 tonight starts at 5:30 here on KVGB. First pitch at 6. Astros get the winner of that game, and the National League Championship Series begins tomorrow. We all called it San Diego taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. So all the NLCS and ALCS games here on KVGB.
And you talk about a raucous crowd. They were having a blast in San Diego Saturday morning, Friday night, Saturday morning when they beat the Dodgers. I happened to wake up and watch the end of it. That was just a party. Those people were having as much fun as anybody I've ever seen.
So upsets abound.
And back on KU, Kobe Bryant with that kind of ugly injury. That was a big strike to the defense. And now they're going into a stretch, they say, the toughest schedule in Division I.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be the first time KU started the season 5-0 and ended 5-7. But the injuries are really stacking up. And I think one thing you saw in that game, KU, Lance Leipold's done a great job turning that program around. They just don't have the depth in that program yet, especially when Oklahoma ran over 100 plays. I mean, it was a hurry up. KU, you see teams come to the line of scrimmage and don't huddle. And then they just kind of look around. They get the call from the bench. No, OU was just up there running tempo, and KU was gassed. Still, how does that work? OU, it turned out there was a 9.5-point favorite in that game, and OU covered 52-42.
Somebody gets paid a lot of money to. I wouldn't have guessed 9 points or 9.5, but Venables 4-3 back on the winning side, but he's got to be scratching his head about that defense. I know KU's high-powered, but that's a lot of points in 3 games.
One time, when you run your offense that fast, your defense isn't getting any rest either. I mean, if you look on the other side of it, because KU was able to obviously put up 42 points, although they kind of got behind the scoring line there. Yeah, your defense doesn't get any rest when you're doing that either. Okay, you want to talk volleyball? Sports headlines? Weekend sports headlines? You're going to be talking with Shelly Duval about the Great Bend Lady Panthers. They go 3-1, finish second at the WAC.
Nearly knocked off Liberal in the title game. Got past Garden City, which had been one of their losses on the year. So now we go to Substate with some tough teams that we've already played. So there's a plus and minus there.
So we'll talk some volleyball. Shelly Duval's going to be in studio. Mike Corson will be running the controls for that coming up. Barton Volleyball, they split over the weekend, went 2-2 at Mineral Area College in Park Hills, Missouri. Barton back at home Wednesday as they play at Butler. Women's soccer, they lost to 6th-ranked Butler on Saturday by the score of 1-0. Fort Hays State football continued to struggle. They got beat on Saturday by the final score of 35-23 by the Broncos of Central Oklahoma.
What are the mascot? Mineral, is it the Rockhounds?
Oh. Well, you say you're real good at he's look at him. He's just tickled with himself, isn't he, on that one?
What about the School of Mines, the Ore Diggers in Colorado? If you're talking nicknames, that's my pertinent part of that conversation.
Okay. How about the Fighting Paytons?
That's my cashier stepping in here today on Sports Day.
The Fighting Paytons down in Knoxville this weekend.
That was
probably the best game I've seen in 5-10 years.
Hey, they threw the goalpost in Tennessee River.
I don't like that.
That's how exciting it was. And Mike Corson today learned that a female donkey is called a Jenny.
Yes, I heard that on the way in this morning.
In Central Missouri State.
It's an educational program.
Not the lady mules, it's the Jennies.
Fighting Jennies.
Good stuff here on Sports Day here on a Monday. Jim Misunas has just slid into the studio. We'll talk to Jim. Again, changing the batting order up here today on Sports Day on KVGB.
Farmers depend on their equipment, and equipment depends on its fuel. Cenex Premium Diesel works as hard as you do and comes with a more complete additive package for a more complete burn. Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster even cleans up your injectors and prevents injector fouling, so your equipment can keep firing on all cylinders to make every day a field day. Cenex Premium Diesel. Diesel that doesn't mess around.
Contact American Plains Co-op in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor today.
This is Barton Community College Athletic Director Trevor Rolfs. The Barton Athletic Department is proud to sponsor Sports Day on KBGB, a show that showcases all of our high school student athletes in central Kansas, some whom will continue their educational and athletic future with us here at Barton. We're excited about the fall sports season that is now underway and invite you to attend a game or a match and experience the rich tradition of Cougar athletics. For complete schedules and results, visit bartonsports.com.
The National League Championship Series on ESPN Radio.
The San Diego Padres have knocked off the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Philadelphia Phillies knocks out the defending World Series champion Atlanta Braves.
It's the best of 7 with a trip to the World Series on the line.
The National League Championship Series coverage at 6:30 Tuesday on 1590 KBGB and 95.5 FM.
He's a veteran of high school and college sports coverage in Kansas. Sports Day presents the Great Bend Tribune's Jim Misunas.
Moved him up in the batting order today, so Jim, you got to get on base here today. Bring some stuff. How you doing, Jim?
Hey, doing great. Doing great. Feeling that fall weather this morning and getting ready to go out to state golf either later today or certainly tomorrow for Hoisington and Larned.
Well, let's start there. I mean, let's go ahead and start up on some of the state competition that we had over the weekend for, other tennis, things like that going on.
Yeah, it was Kyla Metro from Central Plains beating her counterpart from Larned, Abigail Holt, for third place in singles up at Topeka. And Holt gave a semifinalist, Catherine Weiss of Sacred Heart, a great match. She played 3 sets, so almost made the finals. And then after that great effort, Metro was able to beat her 6-1, 6-0 in the third place match. And, of course, Collegiate won the singles. And
You called that.
Well, that like I said, there's some easy predictions.
Yeah.
And again, it showcases the state will move up a lot of those schools, I think, in the upcoming year. And Collegiate's a perfect example. They've won 33 girls' state tennis titles and 14 in a row. And Topeka Hayden, of course, dominated 4A again in state tennis. So you see that. But, yeah, great effort by both Central Plains and Larned tennis, getting third and fourth in singles. So, yeah, nice effort for that. And then we have Hoisington and Larned playing the state golf over at Hutchinson today and tomorrow. And we got Kaylee Shives, Ellie Karst, Addison Guthrie, Lexus Peter-Silly, Tricia Schramer, and Ava Henry playing for Hoisington, and Jocelyn Clausen and Aaron Timms for Larned. The interesting thing about Lexus is, and Steve's probably seen these, the triplets, the Peter-Silly triplets. What a fascinating trio that has to be. What a fun household that has to be.
Yeah.
3 of them running around.
So that's Hoiston got a chance to place, you think?
Yeah, well, certainly your goal is to make it the second day. You got to be top 6.
Yeah.
And I think they got a great shot of that. The course is really, it's a good course to play in the fall because there's not a whole lot of trees at Curry Park, and the leaves haven't really fallen. So it's a good course to play in the fall, and the grass is short, and the greens are pretty decent. So, yeah, they'll have a good time there. Like I said, there were a couple that were delayed by frost today, but Hutchinson wasn't one of them. So that was good for, at least they started on time.
Curry Park's a good course to go play. Like you said, it's you can score on that course.
Yeah, and
there's
no home advantage there. There was one 4A state golf that played up Topeka at Firekeeper, and that was just a horrible choice of a state course because the access to that golf course is minimal. So it gave a huge advantage to anybody from that area who might play that. But Curry Park, Salina, Emporia, are great courses because anybody can play them, and you can get out there anytime during the year and play them, and it's very public oriented. So it's a great concept that the state has gone to have the state tournament at courses that anybody can play.
Okay, thoughts on the Panthers on Friday night?
Well, it was a huge win, and they faced some adversity. they were constantly down in the game and really made a nice comeback. They've come back from 14 points down against Dodge and came back with the game-winning drive against Ulysses. And it was a huge win. The difference of being 8 and 9 is if you're 9, you're on the road somewhere. And the most likely scenario will be that it's either Capon or Mays South. And Capon is a tremendous team. So you're sort of hoping that Mays South can sneak in there and make it an 8-9 game there if Great Bend is unable to win at Garden City this week. They could move up, no question. Garden City's a tough matchup, though. The kind of team that's given them some trouble. Big offensive line, big backs. So it's going to be a challenge. But, hey, I wouldn't. These guys are capable of anything. They're confident, and they're playing with sort of a fearlessness that they really don't care what the score is. They just keep playing. So you got to give the coaches credit for that because each week there's a coaching tactic that they use. Now this week it was, okay, we're going to use Council early, and then when they start putting 3 guys on them, we're just going to dump the ball off. Great coaching again because what you do is you have in-game coaching. Just like when Buffalo was having trouble with the blitz, they adjusted eventually and hit a couple big plays. That's what you do during the game. You adjust during the game too. So really nice coaching by Great Bend this year. So maybe they can go out to Garden City and pull off another big surprise. It'll certainly be a surprise to Garden City, 6-1, and they're only lost to Hayes, and then of course Great Bend has lost to Hayes also. So it's a battle for second place in the WAC.
Garden City going down. That is Saturday game down in Wichita, 28-14. You think we'll see some? I wonder if Great Bend and Hayes could ever get that game. One of them big rivalry games, but I don't know if they really want to take the attendance away from a home game.
Yeah, I never did see what the attendance was. It was I was watching a little bit on video Saturday night, and Garden City, they're a quality team, and Caleb Weesey's a nice player for Garden, plays cornerback and quarterback. So yeah, Garden's got some good personnel, but yeah, Great Bend is well equipped to handle the challenge, and they'll just go out and hey, give it a shot.
It's been a fun season for the Panthers because they had that long losing streak. They finally got off that shoulder. Now they've won 5 games in a row, and you see senior players, another year of experience. I think Caden Sharman's just had a tremendous year at quarterback, moving into that role, not throwing the picks that have kind of hurt him a little bit. 3 TDs. Of course, Braylon Council showing us he can also kick, which is kind of cool. 3 TDs and they're just the working class football team.
Yeah, it is because it's not like they've got a bunch of big Division I linemen or talented. I mean, the thing that always strikes me is when I'm talking to these football players, 5'9", 155, 5'10", 160. They're not big kids, but they are tough kids. They're smart kids, and they're well coached. And Counts is a perfect example. It doesn't matter what Counts is doing. He'll beat you. He'll beat you in football, sprinting, basketball. He's a competitor. And those are the kind of kids you can live with. You know that they're going to give you what they got, and they're going to battle to the end.
What are some other things you're looking for? High school football right now, heading into week number 8. We'll get. Okay, do you call it the playoffs? Or you call it week 9 games?
Oh no, it's the playoffs. They can call it whatever they want, but yeah, it's
the big difference is the schools pay the officials in week 9. The state doesn't.
Again,
which is good because the schools pay more than what the state does.
Yeah, yeah. The state has they've really improved so many things, and Bill Faflick has done a tremendous job at leadership and changing things. But that's one little quirky thing that makes no sense. The other thing is giving wins for byes. That's just silly. It's just absolutely silly to give a team a win for a bye. It just makes absolutely no sense. But, Hoisington is poised to win the district. The only way they won't win it is if they lost by 18 or more points to Cimarron. And likely they'll play Phillipsburg in the playoffs. And Larned is going to probably have to go to Beloit. So that's going to be a tough test for them when they ended up in the playoffs.
Because I think they've got to beat Lakin by 8, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, and of course Ellenwood is sort of in a tough situation because they play Sterling. They're both 0-4 in district. So the winner of that game finishes 5th, but it's really uncertain what had happened in week 9 because Syracuse has forfeited a game.
Yeah.
So they can't go to the playoffs. So apparently Stanton County will take that, be available to play, but I don't know whether they'll play the 5th place team or the 6th place team. I guess they'll talk to Ellen Wood or Sterling and see, hey, who wants to play and come to Stanton County.
And that's the biggest secret to find out. I mean, you get the bracket, right?
Yeah, but the
non-bracket games, you can't find them.
It's almost
unless the
impossible.
school's posted them, you don't know who's.
No, that is really a government secret because I mean I've tried that the last couple of years. No one, I mean you can't even find out who they're playing or whether they're playing or where they're playing. So, Maxville will probably get South Gray. They've clinched the district already, and then Central Plains really has a tough draw. They play Wilson this week, and then the winner ends up being third and the loser ends up being fourth. But either way, you're going to play Wallace County or Thunder Ridge, and those are really good teams. So,
yeah.
Irregardless of whether win or lose, you're going to be on the road, and it's going to be a tough trip.
Yeah, Wallace County's kind of stepped back up where they're used to. They kind of couple down years there, but heck, they almost knocked off Victoria earlier this season. All right, we've got Substate Volleyball. It's an exciting time of the year, Jim.
Yeah, Great Bend almost got it done. I mean, Shelly Duval, her goal's been win that WAC postseason tournament. Came up 2 points short in the second set, 2 points short in the third set. So they were right there. They're going to draw Goddard Eisenhower in the first round, and then probably play Hutchinson in the final if they're fortunate enough to win. But they'll go to Hutchinson, which is a good trip. It's way better going to Hutch than Mays or Andover or Wichita. So at least it's a shorter trip. It's an hour trip instead of plus that. So, yeah, they've got a great shot. They're playing decent, and they've played great competition. They've seen Hutch High, so gives them an advantage. They know their personnel if they happen to play Hutchinson in the final, and they're familiar with Goddard Eisenhower because they played them too. And, of course, Ellenwood won their 6th consecutive Central Prairie title, that's unbelievable that you got a program that good that you win it 6 consecutive years. Central Plains has won 3 or 4 state titles during that time, but Ellenwood's won 6 in a row. Yeah. Central Prairie, it's hard to believe. So they got a great shot. They're going to have to beat the defending state champ probably in the final, Smith Center. But at least they got the top seed, which is a little bit of an advantage. So,
nice jacket too, by the way. Tribune just continues to put you in nice gear.
Yeah,
so,
got to haul out the fall gear today.
Yeah, exactly. It's coming up. Yeah, the growing season ends today. Jim Misunas, thanks a lot. Thanks for changing be willing to bat leadoff today. That's pretty cool. Coming up, Shelly Duval, we will talk about Lady Panther volleyball. Mike Corson running the board when we come back here on KVGB.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Ryan, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
I had a young gal come in the other day who has been having chronic back pain. Did a session just helping her to understand her pain, not understanding her back, but teaching her how her nervous system works. And just that knowledge just calmed her down so much. She came back in this morning, huge smile on her face, and she was so excited to learn more. It was a blast.
Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy and Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
Here at People's Bank and Trust, we've invested in the future.
It's not just technology.
It's not just accounts. It's you, our biggest asset. And that's priceless.
We will be with you every step of the way.
From big business decisions to your very first transaction, we want solutions that work for you.
For us, it's simple. Relationships matter.
People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
We know a thing or two about high-quality, large-volume hay, like the need to cover more acres per hour. That's why we built the new Case IH WD5 Series windrower with the fastest transport speeds in the industry at up to 30 miles per hour. We included a robust drivetrain that excels through hilly areas and took operator comfort to the next level with a suspended cab and airbag rear axle suspension. Raise the bar for productivity and efficiency with the Case IH WD5 Series windrower. Visit Can Equip in Great Bend to learn more.
Sports Day presents On the Prowl with Mike Corson, an inside look at all the sports taking place at Great Bend High School.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. Mike Corson back in the studio today with volleyball coach Shelly Duval, Great Bend High School. Big weekend for you, Shelly.
Big weekend. Yes, it was.
Good times.
So we'll run down. You guys were out in Liberal for the WAC.
Yes, we were.
Kind of beat up on Dodge twice this season, but went 3 sets with them, and then you beat Hayes in 2, avenged an early loss to Garden in 2, and then a crazy match against Liberal. So just second place finish. How pleased are you with that?
You know, it's one of those days that we started off really slow against Dodge City, just kind of a different lineup. Things weren't quite clicking. 3-hour bus ride, I can blame it on that. But really, we just weren't in the groove of things. And Dodge played their best, and they always do. Ashley brings a great game with our kids, and her team played well. And luckily, we were able to come out on top of that game. I think the energy definitely changed for our second set when we jumped into Hayes. Hayes is a big rivalry. But, it's always respectful, and we play well against them, and our energy just took that game pretty quickly. Going into Garden City, I don't feel like they were probably at their best compared to where they've been in the season that we've seen, and our energy was just by that point, we were ready to go. Took them into pretty quickly, and then moved to Liberal, and Liberal was an intense match.
And you guys come out 25-18 in the first set. You guys have been rolling. You knocked off the big teams at home. Feel like it was yours at that point?
Oh, definitely. This is the best volleyball we've played all season, which is exactly what you want as a coach. We're at the end of the season. We're at the peak. We're at the time that we need to be at our best, and we definitely were on Saturday. We were the best team there.
And then you guys were up 24-23 in the second, and you drop it 25-27 to force the third.
It's a tough situation, and as a coach, you have to sit here and try to keep a good face on, and we definitely had the opportunity to take that win due to some circumstances beyond our control. We ended up losing that match on a call, and it's hard to swallow. It's really tough. But, I can't be more proud of our girls and how we decided to just forego that and have to go into the third set. And at the end of the third set, they came out on top, 25-23, and I don't know that I could have asked for anything more from our girls. And they held their heads high. They were respectful. And as a coach, that's what you want to see.
So second place in the WAC, and now we go into the postseason. So it's kind of a crazy draw. 5A big enough that you could see some teams you haven't seen all year, but instead you're going to open against 10th-ranked Goddard Eisenhower, which beat you on your home court. And then the winner is probably going to see 5th-ranked Hutch, who beat you on your home court. So what's your approach to that one?
It's kind of... I don't know. I'm actually really excited for the draw. We've seen these kids, of course, multiple times throughout the season. Goddard Eisenhower only once, but they took us to 3 in our home court. I will say that was the night that Val was a little on the I wouldn't say underside, but just kind of not in her peak. So I think it'll be great to see with our team fully healthy how we do against that group. And then, there's Hutch. We love Hutch. Hutch is a great game. They're extremely talented. And, we only get better when we play them. But I'm going to tell you, it's our third time. Third time's a charm.
Great Bend volleyball coach Shelly Duval. And the momentum, how big you beat Phillipsburg and Smith Center to kind of, before you went to WAC, how momentous was that? I mean, I would have loved to have seen you win WAC to carry that much more, but how are the girls feeling momentum-wise?
Momentum-wise, I think we're at our biggest point that we've been all season. Each girl they've realized that this is a team thing, and the only way that we're going to be able to accomplish the goals that we've set are to put our individualism aside and become a team and play like a team, act like a team. We win and we lose all together depending on what happens, and I really do think mentally we are in the best position we could possibly be in for this weekend.
And how about physically? I think maybe it was Riley or Tonganoxie, some girls banged up. Everybody feeling good going into the biggest weekend?
Well, as of right now, yes. And if they're not feeling well, they're not telling me. So they know it's a pretty big week. And, today we've got a little bit of time to kind of sit and do some film and do a little bit of mental training and maybe some yoga and stretching out. Touch a little bit of balls today. But as far as the energy going into today's practice, it's going to be a little bit more mental and studying film. And then we'll hit it hard starting tomorrow.
So kind of winding down here, so we'll go back. You said the 2-0 sets versus Hayes and Garden City, just playing top-notch volleyball. What's it going to take to carry that level of dominance over?
We're going to have to play the best we've played all season, and I think the best thing is that's continuing to happen. We started it at our home matches on senior night. Those girls played for those 3 seniors, and I don't think anything's going to change. We continue to get better, and I can't wait to see where we end up this weekend.
You guys going to get down there? It's in Hutchinson, and I think they start at 2:30, and you guys will come on at about 3:30.
Right.
Do you get down there and enjoy watching?
Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to get up and have a little brunch, and we're going to go watch some WAC cross country. I mean, when you're hosting here, why not go watch? I think the girls run at 10 in the morning, so we're going to get the volleyball team out there and get them hype and use that kind of as a little bit of pregame warm-up. And we'll leave on the bus about, 12:30, get down there and be able to watch some Hutch and Mays just to see what happens in that match. But you always got to support your other sports. We never get to watch cross country because we always play on the same day, or they run super early and we can't ever get there. So definitely going to get out on the course.
Definitely been a highlight some of my years when cross country hosts, and then I get to go watch Substate Volleyball at the gymnasium afterwards. What's the bus ride down then, guys? It's going to be listening to some music, watching a funny movie?
This group of girls is they're pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of laughing and giggling on the bus. It's pretty straightforward, pretty focused. They know their goals are set, and if we're getting goofy on the bus, it kind of translates onto the court. So they're really pretty focused once they step on.
All right, Great Bend moves to 19-14 overall, going to Hutchinson Saturday for Substate Volleyball. 10th ranked Goddard Eisenhower in round 1 around 3:30. They're 26-10. The winner, we hope for Mays, but will likely get 5th ranked Hutch. Good luck to you and the Lady Panthers.
Thank you very much.
More Sports Day after this.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB Great Bend and 95.5 FM K238CK Hoisington.
When you need to get rid of the pain, you want the best. You need to see Dr. Dan Quillen at Catalyst Therapy and Sports Rehab. Dr. Dan is Barton County's only board-certified clinical specialist in orthopedic physical therapy. No matter your age, when it hurts, he will help. Call Dan at 620-282-4825. That's 282-4825. Excellence-driven, unrivaled results. Catalyst Therapy and Sports Rehab. Inside the Fieldhouse at 9th and Madison in Great Bend.
High school seniors, the time to think about that next step is right now. Get everything set up in a few hours at Barton Community College's Senior Day on November 16th. At Barton, you can take classes, transfer to a university, or enroll in a technical program entering the workforce after only one semester. Did we mention $6,000 in scholarships will be up for grabs? Sign up online at gobarton.com through November 1st to attend Senior Day.
The American League Division Series continues on ESPN Radio. The Yankees survive a must-win Game 4 in Cleveland.
It's well up into the seats. Yet another home run in the series for Harrison Bader.
Now the series returns to the Bronx for one final game with a trip to the American League Championship on the line.
Game 5 of the ALDS, Yankees and Guardians, coverage at 5:30 on 1590 KBGB and 95.5 FM.
Hey, it's another instant finalist day in the Shop at Home for the Holidays $10,000 shopping spree. It's all presented by Bauer Computers, Mater Plumbing, Heating and Air, your Bryant dealer, and Eagle Communications. The place you want to be is that new place in Olmutz today. Come on down, scan the QR code, get yourself entered, grab some friends, head over for lunch, and be the next instant finalist. You could win a $10,000 shopping spree that you get to spend right before Christmas. And they got a menu for any appetite at that new place. We're talking burgers that are fresh, never frozen, homemade dinners, a selection of appetizers, and of course, ice cold beer. So get your fix from that new place today. You have until 7 tonight. Grill closes at 9. Plenty of time, so come on out. It'll be worth the drive to that new place in Olmutz. Get registered. You have until 7 o'clock tonight to scan that QR code and get entered for the Shop at Home for the Holidays $10,000 shopping spree presented by Bauer Computers, Mater Plumbing, Heating and Air, your Bryant dealer, and Eagle Communications.
It's time to talk Great Bend Panther sports with the voice of the Panthers, Patrick Burnett, right here on Sports Day.
Patrick Burnett joining us from the road today as we talk Panther football. Great Bend winning their 5th straight game, clinch a home game in the 5A playoffs with a 27-22 win Friday night over Ulysses. Voice of the Panthers, Patrick Burnett, with us right now. Man, that was a little bit closer than I think a lot of people expected, but what a good win for the Panthers Friday night, Patrick.
You're absolutely right, Steve. I think a lot of people, probably myself included, thought that game was a lot closer than what we thought it was going to be. Ulysses has played a really darn tough schedule, and they are not as bad as what their record says they are. They possessed the ball a long time. They gave the Panthers some fits, and it took a fourth-quarter rally for Great Bend to come back and get that win. And as you mentioned, it was really important because with the Cape and Mount Carmel loss to St. James Academy, it ensures the Panthers will have a first-round playoff game coming up in 2 weeks from this. It'll be a week from this Friday. And so it'll be a great atmosphere for Great Bend's Memorial Stadium.
Oh, yeah, it certainly will. Tell me about, Ulysses, they like ball control. Panthers had a ball control drive of their own. Tell me about that fourth-quarter drive, about the length of the field, 19 plays. Man, that's a way to put a game on ice.
It absolutely was, and it was a well-executed drive to precision accuracy. Caden Sharman, the Great Bend quarterback, did a phenomenal job of, yes, the defense is daring me to throw this thing long, but also knew that they were going to rotate some help. So what's open? The 3-yard out pattern, or the key route is what Great Bend calls it. So I'm going to get that ball to Blake Parsons. We haven't thrown the ball to Blake a whole lot, but he made some key catches. And then I'm going to dink the ball on the other side to Maddox Spray, and then we're going to throw this screen to Braylon Council. And as a football person, you look at it and go, those aren't difficult throws. Well, that's because you're not the one throwing the football. They are very hard throws, and it takes a lot of discipline to be able to throw that route when your eyes tell you, I should be able to throw this ball over the middle on the post pattern. It looks like there's only one-man coverage, but it wasn't. So it took a lot of maturity and a lot of great decision-making by Caden on that drive to get the ball to the right guys, to keep the sticks moving, and it took the offense a couple of third-down conversions. And quite honestly, that's the kind of drive that this Panther team would not have made last year or the year before. And it just goes to show that the confidence that not just Caden Sharman, the quarterback, but the whole offense and even the coaching staff to call those type of plays, to put that decision-making in the hands of their quarterback, to execute a 19-play, 86-yard drive to take a lead midway through a fourth quarter.
Caden's had a great senior year, hasn't he?
Absolutely has. His maturity level has skyrocketed. With the 3 touchdown passes he threw on Friday, he now has doubled his touchdown to interception rate and has now thrown for over 1,000 yards. And one of the differences, too, was he was able to get some yardage with his feet on Friday night, and that really kept the defense on their toes and really kind of helped open up that passing game. Cody Miller has been very steady all season long, but when you can run the football effectively with your quarterback, it makes things a lot more difficult for any defense.
Another big night for Braylon, and you go in there and you know they're trying to take him away, but he got some good looks, and the Panthers took advantage of it.
Absolutely, Steve, and when looking at Ulysses on film, they had played Garden City the week before Great Bend played them, which is not a good look for Great Bend because Garden runs the wishbone and the Panthers run a spread offense. So had to go back a previous week to see how Ulysses defended Hayes, and they were defending him straight up 4-3 dead man. And I told Coach Beck early in the week, I said, man, Braylon Council, if we can get him the right matchups, he could have a huge week against this defense. And Aaron said, oh, you're so right. Coach Clausen, the receiver, quarterback, and I were the whole offense, they were trying to find ways to get Braylon Council the ball and get him in space, because when you're not having much safety help, that's a really good recipe for the Panthers, and they did an awesome job of finding different ways to get Council the ball.
Tell me about and set the stage about the stop that Caden Hoffman made.
Oh, my goodness. There were so many plays that took place, and that one was so huge and so big, and I'm so happy for Caden. You know, he was a kid that came on early on in the season, and that was just one of those kind of do-or-die plays, and it was one of those situations where Ulysses had not thrown the ball that much, and so when you're in a defensive secondary against a over 90% run team, it can get really easy to start cheating, and Caden didn't do that. He stayed at home. He made the right read, and when it came time to make the play, he did it. And it was so cool that it came from him and the defensive secondary for this Panther defense.
What part of the game was that in?
Oh, it was late. Gosh, I'm trying to think. I don't have any of my information in front of me.
Yeah, that's fine. But
I'm thinking it was one of the late drives that they made.
Okay, so 27-22, 5 games in a row. The Panthers have won, so now they get Garden City coming up on Friday, Patrick. And I don't even know how that. There's a lot of 5-2 teams right now in 5A. I guess you go out and you get a win, you'd be sitting in really good shape against Garden City.
You're right, Steve. And that's the cool thing is, at the very least, if Great Bend goes out and he doesn't play good or makes a lot of mistakes, a 5-3 team in the regular season, great season for Aaron Beck and the Panthers. You got a home playoff game. But if you could go on the road, and the Panthers have done this many times against Garden City, I have felt there's been many times when we went to Garden and Garden has had a better team, and the Panthers have beaten them. So we've seen it, we've done it, and this ought to be like old habit for the Panthers. So I feel they're going to go into this game with some confidence. Now, Garden City is good. On paper, they're big up front. At the specialty positions, they are really good this year, and they have simplified things. They run the flex bone, and they want to possess the clock. They want to chew time. They want to put up yards. And the Panthers have now seen plenty of teams that play that style of football. We've seen Dodge. We've seen Ulysses. We're going to see Garden City. And if things kind of start to shape up, we could see Capon, who could play the same type of style of offense. So the Panthers defensively are going to know what they need to do to stop the Buffaloes on Friday night. And, yes, if they can get that win and go 6-2 and all of a sudden shoot them farther up, that would be much better than the 8 seed, which they're projected at now, which if it all fell right, the 8 seed would host the 9 seed, Cape of Mount Carmel. Then the Panthers would have to go on the road to the number 1 seed, Maize Eagles. And you want to try to avoid Maize as much as possible. So, yes, a win on the road could mean the Panthers could finish 3-1 in the WAC, a second-place finish. You spoil a second-place finish for Garden City, and you improve your seeding in the Substate. So all sorts of big ramifications in a big game for Great Bend, and I do think going in, they've got a good chance at doing it on the road.
Garden City 6-1 comparing to maybe past teams. I mean, is this one of their stronger ones in recent years, or maybe about the same or a little bit less?
I would say, Steve, they've got more talent than they have had in the last couple of years, and especially in the specialty positions. Their running back is tough. Their wing backs are tough. They've got a really big tight end that can catch the ball, but they haven't thrown it a whole lot. Their quarterback runs the ball really well, and so out of the flex bone, when you've got 3 or 4 dudes that you can get the ball to, that really means your defense is going to be under a lot of stress because you've got to play your role. You got to stay at home. You got to stay in your lanes. And the minute you start cheating somewhere, they can slip an easy reverse, an easy counter, or something, and then that leads to really big plays. So staying at home and being disciplined, that's going to be the key for Jeff Lett's defense this week.
All right, Patrick Burnett joining us, voice of the Panthers. On the road today, Patrick. Have a great call Friday. Finish up strong.
Hey, that's the whole idea, baby. We're on a 5-game heater now. looking to make it 6.
All right, Patrick Burnett with us here on Sports Day. We'll have more of today's program coming up for you right after this.
Venture Corporation is now hiring for a CDL tanker operator driver. We'll operate the same truck all week. New higher wages with flexible hours, no weekends, and time and a half over 40 hours. Blue Cross and Blue Shield health insurance, vision insurance, Section 125 cafeteria plan, 401k retirement plan with match. Venture Corporation is an equal opportunity employer. Women and minorities encouraged. Apply in person at 214 South Highway 281 in Great Bend. Online at VentureCorpKS.com or call Leslie at Venture Corporation. Homegrown, family owned.
Get the latest 5G devices at NextTech Wireless. Now you can get the iPhone 14 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus on us, or up to $999 off any other device. And that's not all. You can also get half off a new Apple Watch when you bring your number to us. NextTech Wireless. We are Kansas.
This is Dan. Dan uses Navy Federal Credit Union to save and invest. Luckily for him, Navy Federal takes the legwork out of managing his money, which gives Dan time to work on other things, like his new auctioneering hobby. If you want to be like Dan, learn about our savings and investment options at NavyFederal.org/save and invest. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Bidder number 63.
Savings products insured by NCUA. Investment options are available through Navy Federal Investment Services and are not insured by NCUA.
Let me guess. Unknown caller? You could reduce the number of unwanted calls and emails with online privacy protection. The latest innovation from Discover. We'll help regularly remove your personal info, like your name and address, from 10 popular people search websites that could sell your data. And we'll do it for free. Activate in the Discover app. See terms and learn more at discover.com/online privacy protection.
Welcome back, Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. Tomorrow's program, we're going to have Cole Reif. We'll talk Houston Cardinal football. Barton basketball is just around the corner. My goodness. Then we'll have John Betts, Kansas pregame magazine. Mike Corson will be on the prowl for something. I don't know what, but anyway. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Cross country, maybe? I don't know. They have regionals this weekend.
Yeah,
they have regionals this weekend.
I'm sure we'll have Lyles back in here.
Oh,
you've just been infatuated with these Major League Baseball. That's all you said today. I can't believe how much fun they're having out in San Diego.
They were having a ball. It was like a rave. Of course, it was 12:30 in the morning, and it woke me up, so maybe that had something to do with it. But no, they were having fun. It's good to see. And I'm rooting for the Padres because, they came in the same year as the Royals.
But, so you're rooting for them?
I'm rooting for them, yes. I told my daughter that. So, yes.
I think it'd be a good year for Bryce Harper. He could win a fantasy baseball championship. Bryson Stott could also get a World Series ring in Major League Baseball and fantasy baseball in the same season.
And you don't think that TV networks aren't rooting for the Yankees? Because if it ends, sorry, I brought my TV part. If it's the Padres and Cleveland, oh my!
I love Terry Francona. I think he's the best manager in baseball. Why couldn't you get him? He's been in Cleveland for double-digit years. Just why don't the Royals go get him?
Because he's embedded in Cleveland. He's not moving, is he? He was in Boston, I know, but they ran him out of town.
Eventually, you're going to get run out of town wherever you're at.
Wherever you go. You're hired to be fired.
When are the Royals going to announce her?
They have not. I have a feeling it's going to be in-house.
Yeah. Go get Terry Francona.
New blood.
Sorry you didn't have your procedure today, but I didn't have to do trading posts, so that was okay.
You're welcome.
All right, Mikey, we'll see you tomorrow. That's Sports Day here on KVGB.